In this video, I am going to explain about device feature size scaling. See here, the continuous improvement in the process technology and photolithography technology has made the fabrication of metal oxide semiconductor MOS transistor of smaller and smaller dimensions to provide a high package density. Means in process technology, when we done the improvements, at that time the transistor size is goes smaller and smaller in dimensions. When the transistor size decreases, what happens? The number of transistors in a particular chip is increases. That is this point. Then see the second one. As a reduction in feature size reduces the gate capacitance. When you reduces the feature size, that means when you reduce the device size, the gate capacitance is reduces. When the gate capacitance reduces, at that time the performance increases. Means the gate capacitance decreases, the performance increases. Okay. This has opened up the possibility of scaling device feature size to compensate for the loss in performance due to voltage scaling. Generally, in voltage scaling, when we done voltage scaling, at that time the performance will decreases. But here when we done the device scaling, the performance increases. Means when we done device scaling with respect to voltage scaling, we will get the moderate performance. Okay. Then see the third point. The reduction of size, that is the dimension of metal oxide semiconductor field level transistor, that is nothing but MOSFETs, is commonly referred to as a scaling. Okay. When you reduce the size of the MOS transistor, that is nothing but the process is nothing but a scaling. To characterize the process of scaling as a parameter S, it is represented by a parameter S. Remember this one, it is very important. The scaling is represented by a parameter S, known as scaling factor. This S is also known as scaling factors. This scaling factor must be greater than 1. Remember that thing. The scaling factor S must be greater than 1. Okay. See here, in this table we clearly see that from 1985 to 2009, the feature size, see here, in 1985 we have 2.5. In 2000 it is 0.045. Means the device size is, the feature size is scaling here from 1985 to 2009. Okay. See this figure, device feature size scaling. When we decrease the size of the device, when we decrease the size of the transistor, scaling the size of the transistors, what will be happening? The parameters, what are the parameters that affect? See here, here in x-axis we have channel length, in y-axis we have gate delay. This is for a n channel. Okay. Channel length decrease means when you scales the device size, at that time the channel length decreases. Remember that only is this scales the device size, the channel length is also decreases. Okay. When we decrease the channel length, what happens? The gate delay decreases in n channel. This slope represents the scaling factor S. Okay, this slope represents the scaling factor S. Okay, see here, when channel length decreases, at that time the delay will be decreases. This is an advantage. The delay decreases means it is an advantage when device feature size scaling. See here the channel length decreases, here also gate delay decreases in P channel also. This is also an advantage here. Then see this figure C, the channel length decreases, gate oxide thickness decreases. In the channel length decreases, the gate oxide thickness decreases, means the gate oxide thickness is also scaled when the channel length is scaled. When device size is scaled, the gate oxide thickness is also scaled. Then see here, when the channel length is scaled or device size is scaled, the operating voltage, that is also scaled. The operating voltage, that is also scaled. This is the dependency. These parameters are dependent to the channel length. Means when we scale the channel length, when you scale the device feature size, at the time these parameters also affected. Okay. See this one, when we scale the MOSFET by a scaling factor S, what will be happen? In this figure we will clearly see that when we scales the MOSFET by a scaling factor S, here you will see what is happening. See here, these are the six terms in MOSFET. These are the 6 terms we have in MOSFET. The first one is TOX, that is oxide thickness. See here, this is the oxide thickness. When the MOSFET feature size is scaled, or when the MOSFET device size is scaling or decrease the device size, at that time the oxide thickness is also scaled. The oxide signal is also scaled, that is TOX by X, S. The scaling factor, that is S. See the second one. That is the depletion doping density. That is the depletion doping density. These are the diffusion region doping density. These are the diffusion regions. This is the source diffusion region. This is the drain diffusion region. At that time there is no scaling. When the device size decreases, the diffusion regions are not scaled. Okay, that is, it is multiplied by the scaling factor S. Remember one thing, if any term is scaled, that is divided by S. If any term is not scaled, that is multiplied by S, means multiplied by scaling factor. Remember that thing. Okay, see the third one, that is L. That is the channel length. L is scaled by a factor S, that is L by S. Then when we scale the MOSFET, this is Xj. Xj is the diffusion width. Xj is the diffusion width. When the MOSFET is scaled, at that time diffusion width also scaled. Then W is the width. Then W is the width of the channel. Width of the channel is also scaled when the MOSFET is scaled. And Na is the doping concentration of substrate. Na is the doping concentration of substrate. And when the MOSFET is scaled, at that time doping concentration is also scaled. In six constant, the 5 constant is scaled, but here one constant is not scaled. That is the diffusion doping density, that is not scaled here. That's why it is multiplied by a factor, that is scaling factor S. The remaining ones is divided by a scaling factor S. This is the MOSFET scaled by a scaling factor S. These are the terms that is scaled according to the when you scales the MOSFET. Okay, these are the scaling terms, except one. It is not scaled. It is multiplied by scaling factor, that is doping density of diffusions. See here, there are two basic approaches of device scaling, that is constant field scaling and constant voltage scaling. We will see these two concepts in depth. The first one is called constant field scaling, constant voltage scaling. See the first one, that is constant field scaling. Constant field scaling is nothing but put the electric field as constant, means internal electric field as constant. Put the internal electric field as constant and scales the device feature size and supply voltage. Okay, do you understand what I am telling? Put the internal electric field as constant and scales the device size and supply voltage, and scales the device size and dimensions and supply voltage. Okay, see here, in this approach the magnitude of all the internal electric field within the device are preserved. Preserved means within the device are put as constant. All the internal electric field is put as a constant, that is preserved, while the dimensions are scaled down by a factor S. Dimension is nothing but a device size. When you decrease the dimensions, means the device size is also decreases. The dimensions of the transistor, dimensions of the device is scaled down by a factor S. Then this required that the potential must be scaled down by a factor, scaled down by same factor, that is S. Accordingly, when you decrease the potentials, supply voltage and threshold voltage are scaled down proportionally. Okay, in these 2 points we will clearly say that put the magnitude of all internal electric field as constant and scale down the dimensions and also scale down the potential, means supply voltage and threshold voltage. Okay, here we have condition, that is put internal electric field as constant and scale down the device size and also scale down the potential, that is supply voltage and threshold voltages. Okay, these also dictate that the doping density are to be increased by a factor S to preserve the field conditions. When the internal electric field is constant, we need to put the doping density is also a constant. Doping density is also a constant, and we will see that one. See here, these are the terms. These first 4 terms is related to the dimensions. channel length, channel width, gate oxide thickness and junction is related to the dimensions. And first the other next two is that is power supply voltage, threshold voltage is related to the voltage, then doping density is related to the internal electric field. Okay, see here what happens to these terms before scaling and after scaling. See the channel length. Channel before scaling is L, after scaling is L by S. The channel width before scaling is W, after scaling is W by S. The gate oxide thickness, that is before scaling is TOX and after scaling is TOX by S. The junction depth, that is XJ before scaling, after scaling XJ by S. Okay, see the power supply voltage, that is before scaling and after scaling is VDD by S. Threshold voltage before scaling VTO, after scaling is VTO by S. See here the doping density. This doping density is not scaled. Why? Because the internal electric field is not scaled. That why these two is not scaled. That is why it is multiplied with the scaling factor S. The term which is not scaled, that is multiplied by the scaling factor S. This remaining above terms is scaled down, that is it is divided by S. Okay. See here, according to the above table, according to this table, we will calculate the other terms. That is the first one is gate oxide capacitance per unit area. The gate oxide capacitance per unit area, that is COX that equal to epsilon OX, that is the permittivity of oxide by thickness of oxide. See here what is the when the thickness of oxide is scaling, what happens? The thickness of oxide is scaling, what happens? That is scaled by a factor TOX by S. See here, substitute that term in T dash OX, the scaling factor is T dash OS, substitute that term TOX by S. Then what we will get? TOS by S. Take this S into the numerator, then we will get S into epsilon OX by TOX. Then epsilon OX by TOX equal to COX. Okay, substitute that one. When the COX is scaling, at that time we will get S into COX. Okay, see here the drain current. When the drain current is in linear, that equal to, we will see this formula in previous videos or previous class also. We will see this formula. ID equal to, drain current ID equal to Kn by 2 into 2 into VGS minus VT into VDS minus VDS whole square. Okay, this Kn is nothing but a beta. This Kn by 2 is nothing but a beta. Okay, see here K is nothing but width by length, means W by L. Kn is nothing but W by L. See here, the L is scaling, we will get L by S. The W is scaling, we will get W by S. Then W by L means W by S by L by S. Then SS will cancel, we will get W by L only. Then here the K is not scaled. The factor is not scaled. Then the factor is not scaled, and that's why we will multiply it with the scaling factor S into Kn by 2. The factor which is not scaled, that is multiplied by the scaling factor, that is S Kn by 2. Then see here, VGS minus VT, this is the voltage, this is scaled, then we will get VGS minus VT by S. Then VDS by S, VDS also the voltage factor, then VDS by S. Then SS equal to S square, we will common this one, we will get 1 by S square into the remaining factor. See here, this S and here one S is cancelled, then we will get 1 by S. The remaining term will be ID, that is the drain current. When we scale down this drain current through constant field scaling, then we will get IDS by S. Okay, see the power dissipation. What happens for the power dissipation when we scale the constant field scaling? Then P equal to IDS into VDS. Generally power equal to voltage into current. See here, substitute this IDS here, in this one, then we will get here, in place of VDS we will get VDS by S. When you scale the VDS, we will get VDS by S. Here in place of IDS by S. Then we get SS, we will get 1 by S square into IDS into VDS, that equal to IDS into VDS, that is power P. then we will get P by S square. When we scale by using constant field scaling, at that time the power dissipation equal to P by S square. See here the effect of constant field scaling on key device parameters. Then we will see one by one. Here we will see some of the key device parameters. These are the key device parameters. We will see one by one here. The first one is gate capacitance. The gate capacitance scaling, before scaling, then after scaling it will get Cg by S, gate capacitance by the scaling factor. Then drain current. Drain current we already calculate that one. What is the drain current? IDS by S. The drain current, that is IDS by S. See here, before scaling it is IDS, after scaling it is IDS by S. Then power dissipation, before scaling P, after scaling P by S square. See here, we will calculate that one, that is P by S square. Then the next one is delay. Delay will be scaled, that delay before scaling, that is TD, after scaling TD by S. Then energy equal to P into TD, energy equal to P into TD, power into delay, that equal to, when you scale this term, then when you scale the power is power P equal to P by S square. Then substitute the P by S square in place of TD, T by S, then we will then S square into S, then get S cube, then the numerator P into TD. The P into TD is nothing but a E, energy. Then we will get 1 by S cube into energy. This is what the parameters changes when you scale the constant field scaling. Okay. See here, finally we will see that the important benefit of constant field scaling are smaller device size. When you here we will scale the device size, then smaller device size leads to reduce the chip size. Generally we will decrease the size of the transistor, then the chip size is also increases. And high yield means here the internal electric field is constant, and more number of integrated circuit per vapor. When you decrease the size of the transistors, the integrated circuit size also decreases, and the more number of integrated circuits can integrated in a single wafer. Then the second one is high speed of operation due to small delay. When you decrease the size of the transistor, at the time what happen? The internal capacity, the gate capacity decreases and performance increases, and delay will be smaller. Then the third one is reduced power consumption because of smaller supply voltage and device current. Here it is reduces the power consumption. See here, the power consumption is reduced by a factor S square, a scaling factor, that is S square. That is, the power consumption is reduced when you reduce the supply voltage and device current. When the supply voltage is scaling, at that time the power consumption will be reduces. Okay. Then we will see the next concept, that is constant voltage scaling. Constant voltage scaling is nothing but in this the voltage is constant, means there is no voltage scaling here. The voltage taken as a constant, and here we will do only the device scaling only. In this concept we will do only device scaling. The voltage scaling is kept as constant. See here, in constant voltage scaling, all device dimensions are scaled down by a factor S. Okay, all device scaled down by a factor S, like constant voltage scaling. Okay, however, many situations the scaling of supply voltage may not be feasible in practice. Okay, however, many situations the scaling of supply voltage may not be feasible in practice. We will see why it is not feasible in practice. Here there is no supply voltage scaling. This is not in many situations. Here he will tell, in many situations the scaling of supply voltage is not feasible in practice. We will see why it is not feasible in next concept. Remember that here there is no supply voltage scaling. Here you only have device scaling. See here, these are the parameters. The same parameters you will see in constant field scaling. The similar parameters here you will see in constant voltage scaling. See here, before scaling, I already told that these four parameters belongs to, when you these four parameters which belongs to device size, means dimensions. These two parameters belongs to voltage, and the final parameters belongs to electric field, internal electric field. Okay, see here the channel length L before, after L by S. Here we will be scales the dimensions, will scales the device size. That's why these four parameters will scale by S. See here, W by S, TOX by S, then Xj by X. See here for power supply, here the supply is not scaled. That's why VDD equal to, we will get VDD only. Then threshold voltage equal to, we will get threshold voltage only. Then doping density is also scaled. In this we will get Na into S square. Here this will get Nd into S square. These three parameters is not scaled here. The power supply voltage, threshold voltage, doping densities. Here we only scales the dimensions. These four parameters related to dimensions. That's why it's scaled by a factor S. These four parameters. Then see the key device parameters. Similarly to that of constant voltage scaling. The gate capacitance. The gate capacitance Cg before scaling, after scaling. That is Cg by S. The drain current. Before scaling ID. Here it is ID into S. See here the drain current is not scaled here. In constant field scaling, drain current is scaled. In this constant voltage scaling, drain current is not scaled. The power dissipation is also not scaled here. Then power density also not scaled here. Then delay will be scaled. Why delay will be scaled means here we decrease the device size, we scale the device size, that why delay will be scaled, that is scaled by a factor S square. See here the term I, see this, the term I means this the drain current I at linear position, that equal to this not scaled, this multiple by a factor, scaling factor S. Then for saturation also this scale multiplying factor S. Then power that equal to I into V, that is nothing but current into voltage. Here the current doesn't scale by a factor, that's why it is multiplied with the scaling factor, that is S into I, that is Vs, that equal to S into P. Okay, see here this P into S is nothing but S into P. The power is are also not scaled. See here the next one, this is the final one of device switches as scaling. Final concept, short channel effects. When we scaling the device size, at that time the short channel effects will be arises. See here the scaling has some unwanted side effects, commonly referred to as short channel effects. When you scale the device, at that time we had a unwanted side effects, that is called short channel effects. See what is short channel effects. Short channel effects arises when the channel length is of same order of the magnitude as a depletion region thickness of source and drain junctions. When the depletion region thickness of source and drain junctions is the same order of the channel length, at that time the short channel arises. Or when the length is approximately equal to source to drain junction depths. When the channel length is approximately equal to source and drain channel depths, at the time also short channel arises. As short channel is reduced below 0.66 micrometers, the channel length is reduced below 0.6 micrometers, at that time also the short channel effect is arises. Okay, that's one. Due to the short channel we have drawbacks, that is subthreshold voltage increases. Due to the short channel, the subthreshold voltage increases, threshold voltage decreases, and saturation current is also increases with respect to gate voltage, or without the influencing of gate voltage, the saturation current increases. And also hot electrons also increase due to the short channel effects. See here we see one condition, that is the device scaling is done, but the voltage scaling is not done. Okay, the device scaling is done, but the voltage scaling is not done with respect to the device scaling. Means I'll say that the device scaling means that the feature size scaling is done, but the voltage scaling is not done. This condition is useful for practically this condition is useful for CPUs, central processing unit. Why this condition is useful? Why the voltage scaling is not in the CPUs means, generally the CPUs has external peripherals, means CPU is connected to the external peripherals. The external peripherals require some voltage to run. Okay, that's why we didn't scale the supply voltage, we scales only the device size. Okay, this is the condition. This condition is used for practical way to the CPUs like that, CPU device like that. The CPU device required the external peripherals. External peripherals nothing but pen drive, hard disk like that, external hard disk like that. Those hard disk and pen drive is working with respect to the CPU power. That's why the voltage in this condition the voltage doesn't scales. At that condition the short channel effects increases. To reduce the short channel effects, we will have a structure that is lightly doped drain structure. When you use this structure, we can overcome short channel effects at that condition. When the device is scaling, the supply voltage is not scaling. At that condition, this structure is useful. This is the general conventional structure. This is the general conventional section of MOS transistor. This is the lightly doped drain structure for MOS transistor. In order to build according to this structure, we can overcome the short channel effects in device scaling, but voltage is not scaling in that condition. This condition is practically useful in CPUs. Build up the CPUs. This is the concept of feature size scaling.